Always make your bed. Time for some breakfast.
Dance go on the beat.
So good morning, May 20th, Wednesday. I'm a little more alive after I had my breakfast, which you just saw. Big day today. It's week 10 of the program and it's a pool day. So I'll definitely take you through it, but I cheated a little bit last night. I took a peek at what I had today. It is a 4x3 at 85% my 1 rep max, so that's gonna come out to about 375. So a little bit heavier weight today. I'm really excited. It's 5:30 in the morning, but I'm ready to get to work so I can get through it and get this pool day started. So, catch you in a bit. What is up, guys? So I put on my Instagram the other day whether you wanted me to do a voiceover for this workout or more of a music-based edit, and an overwhelming percent of you said voiceover. So here's my pool day. Let's get started. On my pool days, it always starts with a heavy primary compound movement, which is a deadlift. As you can see, I'm doing 225 here for a quick set of 3. It's very explosive. This is just to get me warmed up. I didn't get 135. I always start with 135, move on to 225, and then as you can see here, I'll hit 315 for a single. Now this will be the heaviest that I'll go without any kind of support, any kind of belt, any kind of lifting straps. The reason I do this is, again, it's just getting me acclimated to the heavier weight that I'm about to hit, and it gets me loosened up again, and it gives me actually a good feel for where this workout's gonna head, whether it's gonna be moving kind of slower because it feels heavy, or I feel good, I feel loose, I feel like this weight's gonna fly today. So my top set of that day was, I believe, 85%, as I mentioned earlier in the video, 85% my 1 rep max for a 4x3, which came out to about 375 pounds. As you can see here, I will get ready for the lift the same way I perform the 135, 225, and 315. I'll kind of get ready, brace my back, make sure my scapula is retracted. I'll do that little shimmy, and then I'll explode upward. I think one thing that I always never did that I'm starting to incorporate now is I'll take the slack out of the bar. So when I say take the slack out of the bar, as you can see, before I bend over, I'll be like tugging on the bar. This is just me preparing myself for the lift. And when I get down into that squatting position, before I actually explode up with the weight, I'll do a little pull to essentially take the slack out of the bar to where it gives me some tension. It makes the lift come up a lot cleaner. I think it's one thing to be important to point out that this is my primary compound movement, so I want to get this done first. It's going to take the most energy. After that is followed by all the isolation work, which is what you can see right here. I'm doing a lat pull down for my first movement. It's a wide lat pull down. So what I want to picture myself is use my hands as hooks, and I want to drive my elbows in, retracting my lat. This is going to help me get the most effective pull. I'll hit this for 3 sets of 12, I think I did it for. And then I moved on to a landmine row. And this is one thing I want to actually talk about, because if you don't incorporate a landmine row into your routine, or if you haven't before, I would seriously think about trying to, because it's a safe movement and it's an effective movement. Believe me, it gasses you. It takes a lot of energy out of you. It's working your core because you're kind of bent over. You want to support your back. The primary targeted muscle you're hitting is your rear delt. So if you picture like a face pull with a cable, you're pulling back like this, you're retracting your scapula, you're using your rear deltoid. This is the same thing here, as you can see, except you're just using one arm to pull. It'll exhaust you, trust me. If you haven't incorporated it yet, please give it a go. You won't regret it. After that, I moved on to, it's just a bodyweight pull-up on a Smith machine. And I did this for 3 sets until failure. Now, one thing I do want to note for this is, I don't like using the term failure, because you performed the lift, you did it to the best of your abilities, you didn't fail, you went to exhaustion. So for me, my exhaustion point was, it was a 3 by 20, 18, and then 18. Those were my exhaustion points. That's when I called it quits. I couldn't perform any more reps, but by no means did I fail that lift. And then to finish up, I worked my biceps. So here, I'm just doing a standing bicep curl with the easy bar, and the point I want to drive home with this is that you really want to focus on the eccentric part of the movement. When you're lowering your arms, when you're extending that muscle, that's where the atrophy occurs. That's where the most muscle tear occurs. So you can cheat a little bit when you come up on the eccentric, or on the concentric, excuse me. You can cheat a little bit, get your back into it a little bit if it helps, but when you lower that weight, focus on a weight that you can control. Again here, I'm doing an easy bar curl, a spider easy bar curl where my chest is supported. I only have 2 10-pound plates on each side. It's not a lot of weight, but this is where I can really come up, squeeze, feel that contraction, and lower it under control. No one's going to judge you if you're lifting with good form. It's how well you lift, it's not how much you lift. Focus on bringing it up, squeezing, and then lowering it under control. That's where you're going to get the most effective workout. I promise you that. So I hope you liked that little voiceover. I can definitely incorporate them more if you found most value out of that. That's my objective with this YouTube channel. I want you to get value of everything that I provide for you. So be sure to let me know in the comments below. DM me on Instagram if you really enjoyed this. Let me know, because I'll do it more often. I tried to keep it as raw as possible. I literally have the video right in front of me just so I can talk you through it real time. So it is going to be a little bit raw, but I really did hope you enjoy it. So please let me know. This back workout was the type of workout that absolutely drains you. I'm exhausted, I'm hurting, but to be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to encourage every single one of you to make yourself better, to improve. So, but if you're not willing to do what it takes to do those steps, don't waste your time. You owe it to yourself to be the best person that you can be. So if you're not going to give 100% of your effort, if you're not going to step in here, anywhere, with a plan, don't bother putting yourself through that kind of stress. Bring your best each and every day. Push yourself to your limits. Keep grinding. Changes happen. The best version of yourself will occur when you push yourself to the absolute extremes. Remember that. So, that's my full day. Thank you for joining me. It's week 10. We're almost there. Remember, always loading, never not. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.